The market is pumping based on good news from the SEC Ripple lawsuit. We're going to talk XRP and XLM because both of them have moved on the action. Hyperinflation, try BTC instead. I wonder who said that. Pumps and dumps in the market. Jerome Powell and the Fed.
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
And it's great to see green on the screen. Just wish today wasn't the Jerome Powell day. But before we get into all the good news that's making us green, your comments come first. Hot, spicy, naughty, relevant. Maybe I'll share it where, everyone? At the end? No, at the beginning of the next video. Jeremy Touche says, ding dong, the witch is dead. Let's go XRP. We need a moonshot. Don't worry, Jeremy. We're going to talk price action at the end. Jeremy's also dropping support on the channel and says, thanks for all you do, Klaus. SEC dropping its appeal is the best news ever. Chino BX all day, my good friend, says, on the damn day of the FOMC. This isn't just the FOMC meeting that's happening today. It's the projection meeting, and that's what scares us all. Just like you said, man, couldn't they wait till it was a better time? I totally agree, because sometimes it's good to have good news on its own day, not an FOMC day. Peter Gozner says, I've been checking the other Hopium sites, and none of them are reporting this. So I say thank you for being the first to report this. He's talking about the Ripple SEC case being over. This is why we come to and stick with you. That's right. I work all hours of the day to provide you news. I even worked while I was on vacation. Bitcoin sitting at 84,824. ETH is finally above 2,000, getting a little pumperoni action, lowercase p at 2047. XRP up 13% at 253. I hope 259 is not the height on this news. We're going to talk XRP price at the end. XLM is receiving some benefit as well. Not able to break the 30-cent mark and hold it, sitting at 29.1. Let's get into it. Bitcoin bull Michael Saylor asked Turkey to try BTC. And he's not talking about Turkey, the food. He's talking about the country. As the lira tanks 83% against the US dollar. Saylor made this suggestion in a tweet today. He highlighted how the lira continues its steep decline against the dollar. The accompanying chart shows the USDT-RY exchange rate reaching 38 after the dollar gained 3% on the lira. Notably, the chart reveals that the lira has been long-term downtrend against the dollar. Well, check this out. Here's the chart of BTC to the lira right here up on the screen with Saylor saying, try BTC. Essentially what he's saying is, look, you think your government is going to mess things up? Put some money into BTC to hedge against it. You think inflation is going to roast you? Put some money in BTC to hedge against it. I can't argue the guy when the chart looks frickin' like this. The only thing is, though, is a lot of these players out here are hoping that the government gets into the BTC in order to keep pumping its bags. Oh, Ripple SEC lawsuit has ended. By the way, I have the full announcement from Brad Garlinghouse right here. It is going to be linked in the description below. I already talked about it this morning. Heck, I'll even link that video at the end of this one so you can watch it. Honestly, a very moving announcement from Garlinghouse with a little bit of Stuart Alderati action there tied in as well. Let's talk pumps and dumps. Pi network price falls 15%, triggered by massive sell-offs by investors. It was a lot of over-promising and under-delivering. Pi has been around for years and years and years, and they've been like, oh, when we launch, it's going to be moon action. It didn't happen, though. And in fact, now that hype is totally wearing off. Chaikin money flow indicator is reflecting the market's weakening sentiment, showing a sharp downtick this week, talking about Pi. At present, the CMF is hovering around the zero line, signaling that outflows are beginning to weigh inflows. This trend is a bearish sign as it indicates that investors are choosing to sell off their holdings to lock into profits. Now, we got to be honest here, because Pi has totally been a pump and dump. In fact, when we look at the price of it, $1.13. Zoom in on the chart and you're going to see what, everyone? You're going to see that there was a time when Pi Network was sitting there almost at the $3 mark and has eroded about 66% of its gains. Atrocious, isn't it? Pumps and dumps. All right, what else do I got for you? Overall look at the market shows that we're starting to enter the green on the 7-day for the majority of cryptos. And the news today with the SEC is certainly going to help. Volume, still a poop sandwich, everyone. This really has me concerned. I know there's good news with the Ripple case, and you're going to see that right here, as volume has now almost doubled, well, more than doubled, at 109% gain to 7.46 billion. But the rest of the crypto market's volume is sucking massive balls. We're only at 70 billion in volume right now over the last 24 hours. And I guarantee you a lot of it has to deal with the Fed and what Jerome Powell is going to say. By the way, 99% chance that Jerome Powell is going to pause. So it's not the fact of the decision. It's what he says after and their projections. Join us at 2 p.m. Eastern time today so you don't miss out. And if you're watching this video after 2 p.m. and going, but bro, the live already happened, well, hit the notification bell then so you don't miss out. Okay. This is the CMC 100. This is the broad spectrum view of crypto. And you can see we've gotten a little bit of pumperoni action here since the 18th, right? Since yesterday, with a good pumperoni coming today from the SEC news. Now, XLM Stellar has nothing to do with the SEC, except for the fact that overreach from the SEC has hampered the entire market. And we've seen that XLM and XRP trade very similarly. But there's a difference. Here's the one-day chart with XLM. One-day chart with XRP. Can you tell XRP pumped stronger on the news? Yeah, because it was directly related to XRP. But it's good to see XLM getting some green movement. Is it because of what Camp Stellar is doing? No. It's because of what Camp Ripple did. And that's defeated the SEC. Now, XLM almost doubling in the volume as well. So you think some bots and algos are trading this action? Hell yeah, you do. Because why the hell else would the market be pumping all in lockstep? One-day chart of XLM, one-day chart of XRP. Boy, do they look similar, even with the three peaks right here, But XRP is gaining even more. Now, we got to zoom into the candlesticks because this morning, when this move happened, yeah, I brought the news to you right away. As I shared with you in the comments, no one else was posting it except for me. Yeah, early to the news for you. All right, watch what happens here when we go to the 15-minute candlestick, okay? Look at this. 259 even was the high on this one. This candlestick here, 258.12. This one right here, 258. So we've had 3 peak candlesticks in a row, slightly going down. I hope that this SEC news is not a massive nothing burger in terms of uppercase P pumperoni. 259? That's it? Yeah, I know the move is still early, right? It's only been a couple hours since the announcement. But you've seen already 3 attempts, 4 if you include this one right here that got us to 257.7, trying to breach that 260 mark, and we haven't been able to. Now, the good news is obviously this, right? We were hanging out here at the 220, 230, 240 mark. We've finally broken through that, but we need to see if we can hold it. The scary part is, though, is if we're only going to get 259 on the high for the candlestick on the SEC case being dropped, that's not good enough. I think a lot of us out here are going, really? This is it? Finally, the storm cloud is lifted overhead, and the best you could give us is a 259. We got even more than that with the announcement from Trump and the Strategic Reserve. Look at this. This is half the height of the Strategic Reserve pump announcement. And we saw with the Strategic Reserve, what did it do? Had a few moves near the top, right? Couldn't hold it and erased all its gains. So I'm hoping, with more hope than you can imagine, that this pattern does not repeat itself. The problem we got, though, is later today we got Jerome Powell and the Fed. So you got really good big news on this hand and a big poop sandwich coming on this hand. So what's going to win? Jerome Powell poop sandwich or really bullish news with XRP? I want to hear what you think down below, but please comment before the FOMC meeting so I know you at least commented before the results. All right, so we got some good news in with the SEC and the Ripple case, and it pretty much pumps the entire market. Bot trading, yes, it's obvious by now, isn't it? XLM gets a little bit of pumperoni on it, lowercase p though, as XLM is struggling to maintain that 30-cent mark. Volume doubled on both, which is great, but the overall crypto market volume is absolutely piss poor. Jerome Powell, we know that he pees in the Cheerios, right? Let's be real here. I don't think any of us are expecting Jerome Powell to be optimistic, but we've seen, though, that the crypto markets expect optimism at almost every meeting. My big fear, though, is that this SEC announcement only got us to 259, and that's all we're going to touch. That's not what we want. And the scary thing would be is if within 24 to 36 hours, we erase those gains just like we did with the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve news. See, I mess up too. I'm going to leave that in. I'm not going to edit it out. So what's going to happen? Well, only time will tell. But if you don't have the time to check out the news and all that, that's why you hit the subscribe button, because I do the work for you. I bring you the news, good or bad, happy or sad, so that you can make the decision that best suits you. Yeah, because we're all in different situations. Some of you out there like short-term pumperoni action. You want to play the dips and tips. Some of you out there like to stack and add to your bags. Some of you like to short the market. Either way, this is where you come for the news. Fastest and most accurate. I don't know if those are both like true statements, but that's how I'm going to end this video. Choo choo, bitches.